Hi everyone, welcome to Group B of the Ro16. I'm your caster Big Fan. So today we're going to have a PVZ. So our Zerg is going to be Kwanro. You can see his ZVP record isn't the greatest. We'll see how he's able to do. I mentioned up and coming player, seems to be quite formidable in the VT matchup. But we haven't had much VP to see what he's like. On the other hand, his opponent would be our Protoss, KaL. So, I mean, he has a 2-0 record versus Zerg, very small sample size as well. Now we will see how he's able to do as well. He did get off beating Savior in the Ro32. So we will see if KaL is able to do something similar with Kwanro and win their series. So the map's gonna get started momentarily. The map itself will be Blue Storm. Fighting. So our white Zerg in the top right, Kwanro. And our blue Protoss in the bottom left, KaL. So again, this map does open up to some early aggression as well. I have seen, Terrans do things like BBSs, I've seen proxy gates on this map, and Zergs have opened up pull first or over pull as well. It's hard to say what either of them would try and do. Now, seeing as Force FE does work on this map as well, and Gateway FE would also work, so KaL can go for either direction that he likes. Likewise, Kwanro can definitely go for the overpull, or can decide to go for something like a 12 hatchery as well. Both are good options. Now I do see what looks like there is a bit of banking, so there's nothing that's being made now. So it looks like it's going to be a 9 pull. So it looks like Kwanro's actually going for the 9 pull. So just one quick thing to mention about this map. As mentioned, this is a Zerg map. So you can see the ZVP stats, 25-15, so Zergs definitely have an advantage against Protoss on this map as well. And the 9 pull will definitely give Kwanro the potential to try and be aggressive early on. Now the Pana is down, the prop is going, so it looks like we're going to see if it's going to be a Gateway or a Forge from KaL, but he will need to have some good defense against some of the links that will come out from Kwanro. So it looks like the Forge, okay, not a bad idea. He can definitely get a cannon there and make sure it ranges everything in sight. Now I do expect that Kwanro will be getting the expansion up shortly as well. We'll have to see just how many links he makes to start things off, but the Forge is done. The links are being made at this moment. And you know that KaL is going to scout this, so he should be putting the cannon down ASAP. So there you go, you can see double cannons. He knows that if he defends this, he'll be in a good position, and this will also help him later on in the game in case Kwanro wants to go for hydras or anything else along those lines. And the probe is doing a fantastic job denying. Oh, but the hatchery is down. The 6 Zergs are out as well, so the cannon should definitely be up in time at this point. So I do expect that Kwanro will just keep droning up, probably take another base as well, just to try and match up with the Protoss, and the Overlord is inside. They will see the Nexus going down. So I can see what looks like something going down from the map. That's more than likely a drone. We'll have to see where Kwanro takes this third base. Looks like it might be in the mineral only though. So KaL's opening has been great. Doesn't mean that because the gateway is a little later on, he can't put on as much early aggression until he gets some more zealots out. But this probe is surviving quite in the base and giving a lot of intel to KaL about what Kwanro is doing, because he can see the gas timing. And typically they say someone who's able to keep their probe alive for a long time, or their worker alive, that is a measurement of how good of a player they are, because again, scouting and intel in this game plays big for these, especially for these players who will change their bits on the fly if they need be, especially if they see the opponent being greedy or maybe not greedy enough for whatever the reasons are. Now the Nexus is almost done. In the meantime, the hatchery shouldn't be too far off either, and the third base is already on point for Kwanro, so things aren't too bad. Now he didn't do much damage at all, aside from forcing the 2 cannons, which can be a minor win in itself, because typically the Protoss will just have a single cannon. But he is going up to the layer. I do expect we'll see the Stargate going up ASAP once the core is done, and the core is just about done as well. I would love to see if there is +1 on the Forge, because +1 attack will make Zealots more effective against Zerglings in the sense that the Zealots will only need 2 hits to kill a Zergling rather than 3. So we don't see it spinning just yet. Now these Zealots could do quite a bit of damage, especially with the probe there, because the probe will help with the reducing the Zealot hits. But it looks like one is actually being moved down to stun a Scout Alarm for the third, which is not a bad idea in itself, but KaL definitely needs to be careful. So he's gonna scout the third. He's gonna probably start napping a bit the drones. Oh, but that was a nice little quirky bug there, and the Zealot does park itself just behind the mineral line, so it'll be safe for now. I don't know, personally I think he should run the drones back. Stargate is up, so KaL's position is looking really nice, and he's getting his robot as well. So we might be seeing in that case Reaver Tech, more than likely. Oh, and it does even make it into the main, so this is really fantastic on KaL's part. He does see the Spire, this will definitely give him a little more intel. I'm not personally sure about running the Zealot because he does see there's a third base. Oh, and there's a third Zealot as well, killing drones in the expansion. He gets a single drone. He can also probably even kill another one because it looks like Kwanro is not paying attention. Oh, and there's another one lost in the main as well. So that's what, 2 drones, 3 drones down? This Zealot's already killed, yeah, so that's 3 drones down. A lot of Zerglings being made, and drones are being shuffled all over and over, and the Zealot, that third Zealot is still alive in the little nook there as well. First Corsair is out. The Spire is again still not done just yet. Should be soon, but he should be ready for this, and we get the Hydrogen going down as well. So you're gonna get at least a single overlord down. Now the Zerglings do stop the Zealots from getting into that little nook there, and they do looks like they have a bit of speed as well. Yeah, speed is finished as well. Okay, and a Force has going down, so Kwanro is also playing it pretty well as well. Now, if Reavers are coming into the mix, we'll have to see if a second target will be added for KaL, and if there's going to be a robotics bay, just to see the timers of some of that as well. Shuttle speed too. In the meantime, all Kwanro is doing is probably going to be droning up. Yeah, so the robotics bay is out. Robotics support. So yeah, second target is up, so this is definitely going to be the Corsair Reaver. Now we did see something along those lines way back in Group B, if I'm not mistaken, was Jaedong versus Bisu, where Bisu had a lot of damage to Jaedong's economy through the constant the Reaver drops, the DT drops, storms eventually. Of course, Jaedong did hold on that in that game, but it was pretty crazy. I'm not sure if we're gonna see KaL with doing as much damage as Bisu did, because they are both. Because I don't believe he has the multitasking of Bisu, and not many players at that level from my perspective. But he can still do quite a bit of damage with this. So this is gonna come. Oh, he actually canceled the second target. That's very interesting. He's actually going for a dual suit. So he did see the Hydra there, if I'm not mistaken. So he might be thinking to get Storm up faster. So they need the Archive. And seeing as there's more and more Hydras coming up, this is definitely not a bad idea. Now the Reaver will help with the defense. And the shuttle will make sure it's going to survive against the Hydra, especially if they try and come in to target it down. Now more and more gateways are coming up. I still haven't seen. Okay, and shuttle speed is done. He's gonna have to be careful because he's gonna have to be scared by the Hydras there. Ooh. Okay, he's gonna be able to save the shuttle, so that's extremely huge. He needs to keep that shuttle alive because that will help him defend against any Hydra aggression that comes his way. So one dull camp, that was a nice reaction on his part as well. But there is quite a bit of Hydras, honestly, he has to be careful. One thing he can do is he can park the Reaver right behind the third base in the minerals there, and he can definitely, the Scarab can just walk all the way around the minerals and hit them, but he should probably make sure the distant gun scouted. Looks like he's going to drop it right on top. Is this definitely not a bad idea, but it's going to bug out. Oh, and he gets the one. Okay, it's not bad, not bad. Oh, I don't know about this one personally. I personally would think he should just target the drones there rather than targeting the Zergling. Oh! So again, it's gonna bug out as well. And he's going to have to withdraw because there's quite a bit of Hydras here. Looks like he still wants to go for just the one more. Okay, that was not a bad hit, not a bad hit. But the shuttle is extremely low. He should definitely pull it out. Oh, that was beautiful. The shuttle is extremely. He's gonna have to move it out again. Oh, and this is gonna get intercepted. Oh no! So, okay, this was beautifully done by him because Kwanro knew that the Corsairs will be with the shuttle, so he didn't realize that he's gonna basically separate them. But this does put it at risk with the shuttle being sniped. But you can see we're talking about like what 10 HP altogether, including shields, but there is a huge amount of zealots coming out, and all of these are speed zealots, so there is a chance for him to actually break one of the bases here. The question is, you can see there is quite a bit of Hydras, but how will the Hydra Micro of Kwanro fare? And the shuttle can be great for as well, but it's gonna get sniped ASAP, so he needs to be careful. Oh, and there's double Reaver as well. So KaL plays this fantastically. Kwanro isn't doing too bad either, but he does need to get rid of those Reavers because it's gonna make it extremely hard with the Hydras, especially when the Hydras are buzzed up. The shuttle, oh, and the shuttle is still alive as well. It looks like it's actually another shuttle because this one's healed up to all the way to the green. So the Hydras are being pushed back all the way. So the Reaver is going to go down. Oh no, it's not. But the shuttle did go down, so at least one of the Reavers was killed. Of course, there is quite a bit of zealots here, so these drones will have to run. And there is a chance that what's going to happen is that Kwanro is going to be losing at least one, if not all three hatcheries. Now he will have enough Hydras to defend the zealots coming into his expansion, but more and more zealots are coming his way. So this was really an amazing timing from KaL, basically. And Kwanro was definitely not ready between the harass and the speed lot as well. The GG. Wow, okay, this was extremely well played by KaL. He basically read the situation, adjusted his build once he saw the Hydras. And then then the whole Zealot Reaver attack, it was wonderful. So that's game one, goes in KaL's favor. So with match one done, let's get match two started. So this is do or die for Kwanro. On the other hand, if KaL wins this, he will be advancing to the next round. The map is Katarina, fighting. So our yellow Zerg at 12 o'clock, we have Kwanro. Our purple Plotus on the other hand, at 8 o'clock it is KaL. So I'm interested to see what kind of strategy KaL will play on this map. Whether it's a Gateway Expand or the Forge Expand, both are pretty doable on this map. And we did see one of his games previously against Savior on this map. Different spawns, but we did see he played pretty well there. And this previous match against Kwanro on Blue Storm, he played well as well. So he's definitely decent in this matchup from everything we can see. On the other hand, now Kwanro does have this map is quite long, so this doesn't mean that he does have a chance of taking further away bases, having a chance to actually defend them, so more time to defend them as well. So we'll see if he's going to go for something like a 12 hatch into pool, or if he'll go for something like a triple hatchery before pool. I doubt it'll be the latter, but I'm pretty open to anything on this map. We do see that KaL is scouting around, basically, and the scout pattern means that he will not be finding Kwanro first. Likewise, we do see also the plant in his base and nothing else, no gateway yet. So unless the gateway is coming up now, this might be this might potentially be an access first. On the other hand, okay, so the forge, okay, perfect. So forge FE, that seems pretty reasonable. We do see the hatchery first from Kwanro, and Kwanro also will not be finding KaL first with his overlord. His second overlord is on the right path, so it will scout KaL at that point. Now, they did have some ZVP strats up at the top of the map, and Protosses have the advantage on this map, something like 12-25 or so, or a 25-12 for the Protoss. And the pool is down, okay. So it would be interesting to see how things would transition. So it will be nice to see if we're going to see the Spire coming in like the last game, and then the Hydra Den right after from Kwanro. And we'll see if KaL will decide to do a similar, you know, the +1 speed lot attack with, or if he's going to go for Reavers in this map. I think those are both pretty viable. This map also does remind me of a previous game I saw in one of the last, I believe it was the last MSL. Yes, it must have been the last MSL, yes it is. It was Bisu versus Savior on this exact map as well. Again, different spawns, but Bisu basically came back from an extremely difficult position, just threw off Corsair Micro, just killing a lot of overlords, the constant supply blocks. He even lost his expansion to a Hydra drop there as well. So I'll probably see if I can get a link in the description for you guys for that game, or at least post where I make my updates. Now we have to see, I didn't see any gas ad near the main there, so no gas just yet for Kwanro. And we see the third hatch is upper. Okay, that's interesting. So that's actually 4 hatches basically. So it might explain why the gas is a bit on the later side. We do see the core going down from KaL. Now the question is, does KaL know about this this 4th hatchery there? Because typically if you add more hatches, that might mean that you're going to go for the aggression. But at this point in time, we haven't. I do see what looks like the gas in the main just starting up now. Oh, and just finished. Okay. And this will get scouted. The thing is, it looks like KaL is actually going to be scouting that 3rd base. That 4th hatch at the 3rd base. And that's going to be extremely important because that will give him a lot of important information. Oh, and he scouts it as well. Yeah, he should have just been able to scout it. So at this point in time, we're going to have to see if the lair is going to be coming through for Kwanro, or if he will be basically researching speed, because he should have gas enough for one or the other. Stargate is coming in as well for KaL. So KaL's game is pretty typical for the Forge opener. Now his Zs are scouted, but honestly he does have the cannon back home. At the same time, he does not want to lose these Zealots. Oh, and that was a nice blow block as well. So that's a couple of Zerglings lost, and there's also enough Zealots here. So what would be best? Oh, and we see the Hydra tank as well. So Kwanro is still in a pretty nice position, getting up the extra hatchery, like the 4th up earlier. Doesn't mean he can actually make more units, especially if he wants to go for something like more Zerglings. Now he is putting up the Sunken. He does feel that there is quite a bit of Zealots coming in, and this Sunken will help with the defense quite a bit. The first Hydra is out though, so KaL should be able to use it if he does decide to walk up the ramp, but I believe he withdrew his units. At this time though, both players are in the dark about what the other is doing past what they've glanced already. We do see what looks like more gateways from KaL. So 2 more gateways, and the probe is going to be scouting just to see probably to try and catch if there's any other units or any other bases being taken. So that looks like a sunken being made behind, but we'll have to see what the other building. It might also be a creep colony too. Oh, and we have the Citadel as well. So Storm is more than likely going to be coming in the Templar Archives. And +1 is still being researched as well. Okay, so it might be a +1 speed timing with Storm support. That seems to be what I'm seeing here. So we have the archives coming in, and you can see there is no more courses being made, because this courses is enough to help KaL get all the information he needs. Now he will see the Hydras. That's a lot more. That's information. It's more need information. Okay, and that was a Spire. So it's about halfway done. But just because he has a Spire, it's more than likely it's going to be some Scourge. So up to 4 gates it looks like. No doubt Storm is being researched, so I can see a couple of Templars being made just to try and back up their energy. And then once speed is done for the Zealots, we might just see a large +1 attack. But I can see speed looks like it actually is done, so maybe he might attack before the Hydra count goes up. But we can see there is a lot of Sunkens coming up, and this can actually be a really hard blow for Kwanro. So Zealots are actually making contact, but there is 4 Sunkens here, and also he will have to withdraw. So Kwanro will be defending this. He killed a couple of Zealots. Now keep in mind, oh, and this was perfectly done by Kwanro as well. Oh, and we have the Mutas as well. Okay, so this is going to be catching honestly KaL off guard, because he only had the single Corsair, and I don't believe he had much cannons in either base, because keep in mind he did see the Spire, but he might not have been expecting this many Mutas coming out. You can see the cannons are actually just about done. There is 2 Archons morphing, so actually this will be in time. So well done by him, well done. Looks like he must have seen the Hydra numbers and realized that it's going to be extremely, it might be like a Muta switch. And typically what will happen is as we see on Africa, on like the ASL, a lot of the pros will typically get Mutalisks after they build up their Hydra forts to try to snipe the Templars. Now this Zealot Archon army is also quite strong, especially with +1 being done, and a single hit from the Archons will actually melt these Mutas basically. They'll get a lot of damage, especially with how much they're bouncing up. So Kwanro has to be extremely careful, or he needs to split his units. It looks like KaL is ready to take his 3rd base, which is very interesting to see. Oh, and he does not want to engage. This is not a great engage, unless he's able to split up, but even then 2 Archons is extremely strong against this many Mutas, especially with Corsair support. So Kwanro is playing it well just to kind of dart back in and out, just to get an idea of the intel, but he should definitely not be engaging this. Now this base 4 Sunkens, there is good defense, but I don't see much Hydras honestly. I don't see much units. Oh wow, okay, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those units are actually softened up. So there is a small chance here for KaL. And he might actually just be looping around just to attack the main honestly. This would not be a bad idea, but no, it looks like he's going to be withdrawing. We do see more and more Hydra streaming in, and even just the possibility is forcing Kwanro to build a colony. So that's 1 less drone, and that's just more and more mills being spent for defense that he may not actually need just yet. Now there is double evos, that means upgrades are coming in for the Hydras. Oh, and even the mules are being damaged further and further, so it's going to make them easier picking for the Corsairs as well. So that was a nice. Oh, and so 2 Corsairs are down. This is not too bad from the Murisks, but again he has to run with the Archons around. He can't really face this many units. So this is some minor wins for Kwanro again dealing the cans. We do see quite a bit of lurkers actually coming in, and if he's able to get this into position, then the Archons will have to pull back, and you can see it's mostly a Zealot army. So this base is going to be forfeit. Now we didn't see any Robo because he basically went for the Storm, so there was no Robo shown just yet. No doubt KaL must know about the potential for the lurkers coming in. He should have Storm at this one, so the first Storm is coming out. He will get the first. Oh, and he misses the second Storm completely. Okay, so it looks like we actually have the Observers are coming in, so the lurkers are all going to die. Well played by KaL with the defense there. So Kwanro will have to retreat with a single lurker and a couple of the mirrors. So KaL has firm control of this game. And now that Storm is out, he also may try pushing up. It depends on how many Storms he has. But again, there is quite a bit of creep sunken colonies at that third base. Hive is done though. Oh wow, and there's a single mirror left. So Hive is done. And there's quite a bit of goons as well, which will help with the lurkers. So we'll have to see what Kwanro is planning to do, because he's still on the 3 bases. He hasn't taken a 4th base just yet. He's going to try and go for defilers and try and get a couple of nice storms with the lurkers under them. That will make them much harder. So it looks like KaL is going to be moving up. This is interesting. This could be good or bad. There is quite a bit of zealots in the front, but there is about 4 lurkers. Now that is a beautiful storm. A lot of the zealots are going down as well, but the lurkers are going down as well. So there's only 3 lurkers left, or four lurkers left. The Hardens are making contact. It's gonna be very close, but KaL should be able to just break this, I believe. At least the Dragoons can definitely range the drones, and that looks like what he's going to do. He has quite a bit of Dragoons, so he can definitely contest the lurkers, and there's more and more goons coming in. There is a beautiful storm right on top of the overlords as well. Looks like it's going to be... Oh, and the Archons are dead, but honestly there is still quite a bit here. Now a beautiful snipe on the observer. This will help KaL's attack, but more and more units are being rallied forward. He does need another observer ASAP though, just to contest the one lurker there. But with this attack, he's actually reduced a lot of Kwanro's forces. And again, the Zerkons don't even have... Okay, Crack looks like it's kicked in just now, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like they had Crack there. So Kwanro isn't out of it yet, but honestly it's looking better and better for KaL as time goes by. He's on even economy with the Zerg. He's in a fantastic position. He hasn't been hurt much at all throughout the whole game in terms of economy as well. And he's keeping up his aggression, plus he has another observer with him too. He should honestly have the Corsairs. I believe he should have at least the one there to try and help with the protecting the observer as so another push. There is a lot of units here, a lot of Zerglings. So honestly, a couple of Archons will melt these Zerglings, especially with Storm. Now that is a beautiful surround on the Zerglings, and the Zerglings have Crack, so they're going to be eating these Zealots alive. So the Dragoons actually can be fighting these Zerglings. So he has to pull back, but there is quite a bit of Zealots coming in. Wow, there's quite a bit of Zealots. So he will be saving a lot of these Dragoons. It's also saving the High Templar as well. So this is, again, buying more and more time for Kwanro to take, because we saw Kwanro is taking the mineral expansion there for the 4th, and he's taking the top right for the 5th, so he needs those 2 bases up. A 4th is being taken again for KaL, but there is a chance for that KaL is actually going to break this base, honestly. He's getting extremely close with every time with every attack, and there's only 2 Sunkens, and I don't even think there's any lurkers left. So KaL can definitely break this base. It's getting extremely close to dying. At the same time, KaL has also scouted the mineral only, so the 4th base. He doesn't know about the top right, I believe, but we do see even more and more hatcheries, so I do expect just a heavier link composition from Kwanro at this point. Between Cracklings, I can potentially see a Swarm coming in as well, like eventually Defilers. Now the Zealot will scout the top right, so that will give him a lot of information about... Oh, actually, yeah, it should be just close within range. So that basically going to be done, because you see a lot of Zealots going in that direction. And the 4th base of KaL is going to be well defended as well. So Kwanro is running out of option, but he does need to get those 2 bases. The thing is, there is about 8 Zealots coming up to that base, and he has no defenses. So this top right base is definitely going to be going down. It's not. I don't even think it's worth saying at this point, honestly. Now we'll have to see what the upgrades are. I can see it's 2-0 for KaL. We'll have to see what Kwanro's attack upgrades are. I believe he must be at least 1-1. So that base is going down. The 4th base is going to be under siege soon as well, but there is quite a bit of Cracklings here. So you can see top right is done, out of the way. This fourth is in trouble, and there is a huge army coming its way. So this fourth is going to be likely be going down. Now a storm or two will also help KaL greatly, and that's a beautiful storm as well. So this game looks like it's essentially going to go into, again, in KaL's favor, and this is gonna almost seal the deal at this point in time. With this base going down, it's gonna be again back to 3 bases, main XP and almost mined out. And this fourth is going down as well. So the Defiler is out. I do expect the fires shortly as well. Oh, we see a drop coming in. Okay, so if this drop actually makes it into the main or the expansion of KaL undetected, this can also do a lot of damage, especially if there is a swarm as well, like Defilers. But it looks like he will be heading towards the 3rd base, which is also not a bad idea, because that's the one that has the most resources at this point other than the 4th. The thing is, his 3rd is actually under attack and is going to be broken, so he's going to have to drop back. But at the same time, you have 4 different Archons, you have Storm, so this base is going to go down for sure at this point in time. And this is extremely wild. This is so back as yeah, this base is going to go down. Kwanro is likely going to be losing this, and it's unfortunate for him that that I believe I saw the Defiler there, but you can see just how beefy the Archons are. Basically, they're killing everything, especially when you have a couple of them. Then now the Defiler is out. It doesn't look like Consume is ready just yet, but there's a lot of support from KaL. So this 3rd base is going down. This is going to be the GG, and GG from Kwanro. Well played by KaL. Both games were great, and looks like KaL is going to be advanced to the next round.